All right, we are learning about 2-1, which stands for Chapter 2, Lesson 1, and we're learning about integers and absolute value. The essential question for today, this lesson, is what is the absolute value of any integer? Let's find out what these items mean. First of all, we're going to look at integers. What are they? Well, integers are all the whole numbers. Whole numbers. The whole numbers include 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see all the dot, 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 and that just means that they go on infinitely. So what are we talking about on the number line? Well, we start here at 0, and we keep on going as long as we need to, and it just never, ever stops. Those are known as the whole numbers. Well, we also want to include for integers their opposites. And opposites are easy to find. You just take one of the positives, draw an arrow to it. I'm drawing an arrow to positive 2. We're going to make a line going up, and its opposite is negative 2. Those are known as opposites. All the numbers, all the whole numbers except for 1 has opposites, and we can see that 0 does not have an opposite. Now, there are portions of the number line that we need to declare. Draw a little line right here and draw a line over, and make sure you have an arrow on the end of it. All of these numbers are known as the negatives. And all of these numbers over here, not including 0, going to the right with an arrow infinitely, are known as the positives. Now you can see that 0 doesn't belong to neither the negatives or the positives. And it is not positive and it is not negative, but it is an integer. So all of these numbers that you see here, infinitely in both directions, are integers. Here are a couple of numbers that are not integers. Write down the word fractions. And also write down the word decimals. These two items right here are not integers. Integers are only the whole numbers and their opposites, including 0. So what does this mean? Well, there's lots of numbers you can't see, as in right here, there's 3.5. But that's a fraction, so that is not an integer. And down here, this is negative 4.7, and that is not an integer. Those are decimals and fractions and decimals are not integers. Now for the tough questions. Why did 0 and 2 break up? 1 came between them. Are you laughing? Next one. Did you hear about the AB teacher that is scared of integers? Namely, he is scared about the negative integers. Well, I asked him and he said he would stop at nothing to avoid them. Do you get it? All right, well, you're an advanced math student, so I hope you do. All right, next one. Write an integer for each mathematical phrase. Okay, so our first phrase here is a $25 deposit. Now, deposits are talking about bank accounts, and when you put money into your bank account, it is going up. So this is a positive integer. You can write it as 25, that's positive 25, or you can go the extra mile and put the the positive sign in front of it, positive 25. Either way, it says the same thing, both positive 25. I prefer this way because it's less writing. Number 2, a 15-pound loss is negative 15. Number 3, 64 feet below sea level, negative 64. Number 4, $115 withdrawal. Now it's taking money out of your bank account, so it's going down. So we use a negative for that, negative 115. Number 5, a 15-yard gain. That sounds like football, and that would be a positive. Now for a golf question. 3 strokes under par. That is negative 3. And number 7, $1,000 debt. Well, that's definitely negative. That's negative 1,000. A 200-foot descent. That's going down like as in an airplane. And well, landing would be good, but if you were going down in an airplane, that would be bad. But either way, you are descending, so that is negative value. And lastly, a 10-mile-per-hour acceleration. That is in the positive direction. So you may find other words than loss and gain and descent, withdrawal, deposit, and other ones that mean either negative or positive values. You just have to read it with your context clues and know what it means. Let's try the next piece here. Compare and ordering integers. Compare using the less than sign or greater than signs. Both of those signs are located on your keypad of your computer. You may have to use the shift bar to use them. Number 10, negative 17 compared to 7. Well, negative 17 is less than 7. Number 11, negative 45 is greater than negative 60 on the number line. And number 12, negative 101 is less than positive 101 on the number line. Next, order each set of integers. That's what we're learning about here. And since we're talking about sets, we need to make sure we're using set notation. And set notation is using the braces. So we'll start with a brace. And those are also on your keypad of your laptop or keypad. And you may have to use a shift bar. They're located in the right-hand side of your keys. Well, let's find the smallest one. The smallest one here is negative 7. I like to put a strike through it, saying that I used it. Then I find the negative 6, using commas, the negative 2, and then the 0, the 5, the 7, and the 9. Now what's important in this, it's an easy task, but it's very easy to not have a comma, to possibly use a space for the Google form, or leave out a number, or add a number that's really not there. So be careful as you check them off. Number 14. Pause the video now and try it on your own. Pause now. All right, did you get it right? Take a look at my answer there and see if your answer matches. If so, let's move on. Now let's take a look at absolute value. Now absolute value uses these bars right here, and I've indicated them right here and here. Those are also on your computer keypad, located in the right-hand side. You'll find them there. You may have to use the shift bar to do so. Now we learned in a previous lesson that absolute value bars are also known as grouping symbols. And so those are included in the process of GEMS, or order of operations. So let's take a look at what we can learn in this section. It says the distance from 0 on a number line. So that's what the absolute value bars mean. So let's take a look at 21. This means the absolute value of 4 is 4. The next one, the absolute value of negative 5 is 5. Let's stop here for a moment. Draw a tiny house right in the middle. Then draw your whole street that you live on. Down a ways to the right of your house, draw a little miniature house as well. And then, equal distance from that house, draw a house on the other side. Try to make them the same distance as each other. Mine looks a little off. Now the home in the middle is your house. And this is your friend's house that lives to the right of you. So if you're in your house, how far would it take you to get to your house? It would be literally 0 houses. You would be at your house. That's where you live. And down here, your friend lives 5 houses away. Well, what's the distance to get from your house to their house? 5 houses. Well, this house down here is another friend that lives at the -5 location. Well, what's the distance to travel to that house? Also 5 houses. And that's what absolute value is. It doesn't matter if you're going left or right. It is a positive value because distance is positive. Now let's take a look at 23. This says the word why. So why is it that this is equal to this? Well, if you use gems, and we'll write gems right here, we will take a look at this. What do you have to do first? The grouping symbols. And the first grouping symbol to do is right here. What is the absolute value of 3? It is 3. And what have we not used? The negative sign, so we bring it down. And you can see that is why the negative of absolute value of 3 is -3. And now here's another why question. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can figure out why, and then come back once you've had an idea. All right, take a look at the answer. We used gems, order of operations, and we did the absolute value of -3 is 3, and then we brought down the negative sign. And the answer is -3. Here's another why question. Pause the video and try this out. Why is this equal to this, which is equal to this? Pause now. Here's the answer. Let me explain. You had absolute value bars on the outside, and in the inside we had to take care of this problem first. -4 minus 2 is -6. I dropped down the bars because we didn't use them yet, and then the absolute value of -6 is 6. So now you have 3 more to go. I'd like you to pause the video and try all 3. Pause now. All right, welcome back. This is 26, 27, 28, all done. I showed all my work, how to bring things down, and how to do one piece at a time. I used order of operations for each. So very quickly, 26, I did the absolute value -17 to get 17, drop everything else down, and 17 minus 19 is -2. I started here. Order of operations says do gems first, so, do grouping symbols first. The absolute value of 6 is 6. I moved everything down. Then the absolute value of -6 is 6. I moved everything down. And 6 minus 6 is 0. The last one. I have absolute value signs here. Those are grouping symbols, so I had to do what's inside first. -3 plus 1 is -2. I brought the bars down, brought everything else down. Then the absolute value of -2 is 2. I use parentheses because this 2 against this grouping sign means to multiply. And I did not want to lose that operation. I brought everything else down. Then I'm working over here with the absolute value of 5, which is 5. Bring it down. Then multiplication comes before subtraction. And I get 4 minus 5 to get -1. Go ahead and start on your work. The very first thing to do, we always do, is our first name and last name. So put your first name and your last name, not mine, but yours. And this is 9/5/23. And put your period number right there. Actually, don't put the date because you might be looking at this at another next year. All right, number 1. Replace the disk with the less than, greater than, or equal to make things true. I'm going to cruise through this doing all the odds. So the very first one here is -4 is greater than -8. Number 3, 0 is greater than -5. Number 5, 12 is greater than negative 25. Number 7, 0 is again greater than negative 2. I'm on a greater than streak here. Number 9 is greater than negative 7. And number 11, it's different because you have to find the simplified version of each first. So the absolute value of negative 8 is 8. Now I am able to compare. Negative 2 is less than 8. So make sure you simplify it first, showing your work. Moving on to number 13. Use set notation. So begin your set with a brace. And this is negative 5, negative, oops, not negative 2. It's negative 1, 2. End set. No spaces for the form. Make sure you use your commas. Number 15. Start your set. And this is going to be negative 86, negative 34, 0, 21, and 100. End set. Number 17, start your set. This will be negative 23, negative 15, 0, 24, 75. End set. As you cruise down here to number 19, let's take a look at this. Evaluate means to simplify. So let's do that. Using GEMS, and I'll only write it one time here, GEMS helps us with the order of operations. We'll take the absolute value of negative 3 and the absolute value of 9. We'll do two steps at one time because we know that the addition sign here splits that with order of operations. So this is 3 and this is 9. Bring down the plus sign. And 3 plus 9 is 12. Number 21. This one's working inside first, so let's start there. 12 plus 7 is 19. Bring down the bars, and the absolute value, the absolute value of 19 is 19. Number 23. This is like the first one. The absolute value of 8 can be done as well as the absolute value of 4, two steps at one time because we know the addition splits it. And that's 8 and 4. And then 8 plus 4 is 12. Number 25, we can split it again because grouping signs come before multiplication. So this one and this one all at once. The absolute value of negative 6 is 6. The absolute value of 8 is 8. We bring down the multiplication sign, and 6 times 8 is 48. Make sure you circle or underline. And the last one. This one you really got to pay attention. Here it goes. Notice that this bar in the front here is a little longer and a little deeper than all the other bars. It matches the one on the end. So those belong to each other. Those are matching grouping symbols. You have to work inside those highlighted yellow pieces with the problem. And in the inside, you can see another bar that belongs to this bar, plus a bar that belongs to this bar. So we'll simplify what's inside first. The absolute value of negative 16 is 16. And the absolute value of negative 22 is 22. Replace the outer bars, and then we'll do what's inside here. 16 plus 22 is 38. Replace the bars, and then we'll take the bars. The absolute value of 38 is 38, and we'll move this negative sign down to get negative 38.